Another edition of 4 Tips with Clips, where I show you guys the good and the bad, and hopefully we learn something from all of them. So you guys know how this works. It's 2 bad ones followed by 2 good ones. I'm going to give you the bad news first, then I'm going to give you the good news, and we're going to break down all of it. Before I get into that, though, you know the deal. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not done that already. It is a must if you are trying to become a top of the line defensive back. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're really trying to become the best of the best, though, you got to join the All Eyes DB Camp members area. Over 200 plus videos in there of technique, coverage, drills, tricks, everything you need to get yourself to the elite level. Reach your peak by joining that All Eyes DB Camp members area. I have a link in the description down below, so go ahead and do that. It's the best investment you will ever make. All right, let's talk about it. Let's get to it here on this one. The first 2 clips are not so good reps, and stuff like that happens. Everyone has these, but we're going to talk about this. What we're going to focus on is what's happening right here. This is Davante Adams, Packers Davante Adams, going up against Jalen Johnson in a matchup from a year ago, I believe this was, but that doesn't really matter here. We're going to take a look at what went on in this particular case. When we're playing in the slot here, we've got to have some kind of a plan, okay? And as anyone who has followed me knows, I love catch technique in the slot, but not everyone can do that. I'll tell you what is not a good thing is when you give the wide receiver space right here in the slot position right here. You're either taking it away hardcore, or you're going to just give them the space and hopefully they don't run that short route and you can close on it. It is why I prefer to play catch technique, hold my ground, be aggressive against guys in this particular case. On this one, you're going to see what happens when you give the space and you're hopping. All right, the DB's hopping back here. Notice the hopping of the feet, okay? All right, the bouncing around of the feet. If you're going to give that space, you've got to be very deliberate about what you're doing with your feet in that spot, okay? You've got to, if you're pedaling out, you pedal out. You don't hop with your feet. You got to have one foot on the ground at all times. It would be a slow creep out, okay? And it's not going to be a hopping. You don't want both feet over the ground. Off of the ground. And his eyes are high here. First of all, let me see if I can slow this down for you. You see he's peeking inside right here? He's peeking inside at what's going on. Let me see if I can get this paused up for you. All right? He's looking inside. Look where his eyes are. He's looking inside. And so now when he turns his eyes to Davante Adams, instead of turning them to his hips, he turns them high to his chest. So on top of hopping, giving space, his eyes are high, and that's just a bad remedy. Look at how quick that shoulder movement is by Davante Adams. If you're looking at those shoulders, you're going to get fooled a lot because they can move a whole lot quicker than the waist. So I want you to look at the shoulders, how quick they move. I'm going to run it back. Look at how much slower the hips are on this break, and that's where his eyes should be. So moral of the story here is if you're going to back out, first of all, I prefer that you play catch technique. I've got a ton of information on playing catch technique in my members area. I don't really go over that here on my YouTube channel. So if you're trying to learn the ins and outs of playing catch technique, something I really think is very successful when you can get it done in the slot, you're going to need to check out my members area. And like I said, I have a link to the description in the description down below. But if you are going to back out, it can't be a hop and your eyes can't be high. Eyes got to be down low. You're backing out of there slowly and you're trying to keep one foot on the ground at all times. So it would be a super slow pedal or some type of scooch technique. All right. I actually like what the guy at the top is doing against that receiver. If that was done against this slot receiver, I think we would have had a different outcome here. All right. So we're going to slide into the next clip that we have. As you can see, a bunch of, run after the catch on that one. So we're going to slide it to the next one. Here we have a bail technique, something that a lot of guys do, and a lot of defenses. You bail. And I do have a video on this channel talking about the bail technique, and this really goes against all of that. All right, let me see if I can get this paused up for you. Here you are lined up, head up on a guy. All right. And there's all this space out here to the sideline. First of all, he's trying to get a call or communicate something to someone, so he's already off right here. But what you're going to notice is he bails and goes straight back, and that gives the wide receiver access to his back right now. Guys, you bail in a zone. You're not bailing in man technique. If you're bailing in man technique, you're opening yourself up to a world of hurt. There's all kind of routes that are going to be available. So if you're bailing in zone, the assumption I am making here, and this is how it should be, if you're bailing, you're responsible for a deep third. And even if you're matching up, and your read on number 2 says you will now turn into man-to-man on this number 1 receiver, then by taking a step outside before you bail, you are allowing yourself to feel that receiver better. What you're going to notice on this is immediately that receiver is in this DB's blind spot. Immediately, he's in his blind spot. So you're not feeling this guy anymore. And so we have a corner trying to read, which looks like the quarterback. Doesn't look like he's reading 2 here. So you're trying to read the quarterback and feel the receiver, but you can't feel the receiver because he immediately got in your blind spot. Why? Because you bailed straight back. You didn't take a step outside, and now you have no idea where he is. Guys, I'm here to tell you, when you get in this position right here, and this guy's behind you, and you have no idea where your first threat is, you might as well flip your head around, find him, get into his hip, and then you can try and look back for the ball. But he decided to play this thing looking in the whole time, even when the receiver was in his blind spot, and now you're just hoping that that ball comes to you. He never, does attempt to look to the receiver, but here's what ends up happening. He doesn't see the receiver, and now he's not looking at the quarterback. He's basically looking at the ref, almost like, help me, don't you see what's happening here? And, against a good wide receiver, he's going to make this catch. A little contested, not really, makes the catch. Good placement by the quarterback. Moral of the story on this one is, when you're bailing, take that slide step outside. If that receiver wants to get out there behind you, he's going to have to seriously change his course to get there. And upon him doing that, you can even get a little wider and squeeze him into the sidelines. Now it makes it hard for that throw to get in there. All right, those are the 2 bad ones. Let's talk about some good ones. Here we have Justin Jefferson, one of your top wide receivers in the league. He's going up against Carlton Davis, a pretty good cornerback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here's what you're going to notice, and this should be elementary to folks, but we've seen this screwed up before. Notice to the inside here, Carlton, the defensive back has help inside. Corner has help inside right here. That's this guy, all right? So with this help inside, it just makes sense for our corner to keep his outside leverage. You have help inside. We see this get messed up every week. And against a pretty good route, a glance route being run here by Justin Jefferson, and he's really good at this route, we're going to notice what keeping your leverage does. It allows Carlton Davis to be in position to make this play. This is a pretty nice route. Now, if you were just covering this straight up one-on-one, man everywhere he goes, you might get caught with this. And even still, with holding his leverage, that ball gets to Justin Jefferson's hands. What I'm going to show you, the second part of what was done really well here by Carlton Davis was how he finished on the play. But what allowed him to even be in position is understanding the defense. I have help to the inside. I am going to keep my leverage to the outside, no matter how hard this guy pushes, because look, when he pushes inside, he's going to my help. I'm going to stay out here. Now he's in position to throw a hand in there and knock that ball out. All right? Being in position allowed him to make a play. And this is how you finish. Hands right, put a hand right through the basket, right through his hands. Push right through it. Not a swing at it, push right between his hands, knocks the ball out. That's how you finish. Moral of the story on this one, know the defense, play your leverage, and finish through the hands. All right, this last one is an older clip, all right? And this is one that we see messed up quite a bit as well also. Playing 2-man, this is Marshawn Lattimore against Julio Jones when he was playing for the Atlanta Falcons. And this is 2-man. As you can see, over the top, Marshawn Lattimore has help from the safety. You see the safety over the top. So in two-man, where are you supposed to be? Inside and underneath. And we're going to see Lattimore play that to the T. Inside and underneath. If that receiver is trying to go inside, I don't care what he does to get in there. You've got to prevent that. That is exactly the essence of what Marshawn Lattimore is doing here. I keep wanting to call him Lynch, but Marshawn Lattimore is doing here. Do not allow that inside release. You are playing the defense. I have help over the top and to the outside. There it is. Look at the safety. He's my help on the numbers over the top. Receiver wants to go out there, fine. Quarterback's going to have to fit it in there. Where he can't go is inside of me or underneath me. And fortunately, this play was, I guess, hella high water. That slant was going to go to Julio Jones. Matt Ryan is just relying on this top-of-the-line receiver to win on this route in this situation. And because Marshawn Lattimore is playing the hell out of the defense called, he gets a nice gift. All right? Sometimes you'll call a guy lucky. Man, it's not luck. I'm playing the defense. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Ball comes right to me. Interception, real easy. Yes, Marshawn got boomed at the end because Julio was mad about it. But the moral of the story here is play the defense call. That's what we saw in these last two clips. Sometimes you get a nice little gift, a little payoff for playing the defense. All right? And that's it, guys. That is it. 4 tips with clips. Once again, if you guys are looking to reach that elite level, go ahead and join me in the All Eyes DB Camp members area. I have a link to it in the description. And before you head out of here, go ahead and subscribe. Do that for yourself if you're trying to be the best. All right? All Eyes DB Camp. Consistency breeds results.